Hi, this is Sean with Your Work, Your Success. It's time for you to start to understand about money. Money is a tool. If you can understand it, you can use it. Let's talk about value. Specifically, the value you create for your employer. Or, if you're self-employed, the value you create for yourself. It's the same principle, really. How much can you expect to be paid? It all depends on how much value you create versus how much it costs to employ you. In today's example, you're the employee of a private company. The company sells rocks to people for their rock gardens. Your job is to go to farmers' fields with the company truck, load the rocks up into the bed of the truck, drive them to the people's houses, unload them, and then you drive back to the office. You don't have to arrange the rocks in the rock garden. You just have to drop them off and bring the truck back. It's a pretty small operation, just you and your boss. You handle all the field work, and he handles all the office work, and he owns the business. Each truckload of rock sells for $200. It takes an average of 8 hours for you to go and to pick up the rocks, deliver them, and then bring the truck back to the office. So that's $200 divided by 8 hours, $25 an hour. Pretty good deal. $25 an hour for a pretty low-skilled job. It's a lot of work, but it wasn't all that hard to learn. Hold on though. What about the cost of gas and wear and tear on the truck? That averages $15 a day. So you're down now to $185 an hour. Divided by 8, that's just over $23 an hour. The employer also pays you some benefits. Drug plan, insurance, that type of thing. That costs him about $5 a day. So now you're down to $180 a day divided by 8. You're down to $22.50 an hour. Wait, there's more. It costs a certain amount to get this customer. This is known as the cost of acquisition. Most of the new business comes from ads that the boss runs on the local radio station for $20 a day. He runs ads every weekday for that $20 a day. So the profit from your delivery is down now to $160. Divided by 8, that's $20 an hour. Your boss also pays the farmer $5 a day for just for the privilege of going into his field and getting the rocks. Now, I've built 3 rock gardens in my time and put them all around our yard here. And I can tell you that no farmer seems to mind if you remove rocks from their fields. But if I was going to sell the rocks, the farmer might want a little bit of his own cut. So the boss kicks out $5 a day just so that he can keep his supply secure. Anyway, your profit's down to $155 a day, divided by 8 is $19.38 an hour. Still pretty good. Uh-oh, there's another big problem. Your boss is not running this business out of the goodness of his heart. He expects to get something out of this. So let's say your boss is especially generous and he just decides to take the same pay as you. So your $155 a day is now split in half to $77.50 a day. And you are down to $9.69 an hour. Now I realize that that minimum wage is like $15 an hour. So we couldn't even legally employ you, but we're only working with monopoly money here. So let's just go with the fantasy. And we haven't even talked about any of the other costs, such as insurance and workman's compensation, that all take money out of that $200 a day. So now your boss has a problem. He wants to pay you more. Does he raise, and he wants to earn more himself? This is his only income. Does he raise his prices and risk getting less business? Does he look for a cheaper rock picking driver? Does he decide to fire you, do all the rock picking by himself, and do all his office work at night? Or does he change his business model, try to get the farmers to pay for rock removal, plus sell the rocks, and then get two streams of income? And how about you? You love picking rocks. This is your dream job. Out in the fresh air all day, plenty of exercise, and it wasn't all that hard to learn, and you really get to meet a lot of nice people. You just can't feed your family on $9.69 a day. Can you create more value? Are there ways that you, the rock picker, could get more than $200 a day to come into the business, to create more value? Could you maybe come up with a way that you could deliver 2 loads of rocks a day, and then you get $400 of income and pretty much the same expenses, except for the amount of gas you use, maybe? Or could you have such great relationships with your customers that you become better advertisement than the radio station ever could be? So now the boss doesn't have to pay that $20 a day to the radio station because you're the best advertisement. Now notice I didn't mention how hard you work or how much education you have, because they don't matter. They don't matter unless your hard work and your education contribute to increased revenues in the company. Because a $200 payment cannot magically become $250, no matter how much income or no matter how much education you have or how hard you work. You have to create more value than you take out. What goes in has to be higher than or equal to the amount that you take out. Now we've only talked about a 2-man company. What about in a bigger company? Well, it's the same thing really. Maybe you have a whole bunch of people working on the assembly line and they're all doing the same job. Well, the amount that of value that they create, the amount of income those 10 or 20 people generate has to be divided amongst them, but it has to be equal to or higher than the amount they take out. Equal to or higher than the amount it costs to employ them. And you could even look about like at a government funded job, like when I was in the army, or the maintenance people that your town hires to pick up your garbage. Well, there, the local government or the national government, whatever, has to decide how much it wants that service. In other words, it has to decide how much it values that service, and then it has to find the money to pay for it, either through taxes or however else they're going to get money. So that's it for now. Something to think about. You can't outrun math. Subscribe to the channel so you get all the episodes. This is your work, your success.